Hi, this is Deb Helfrich. I'm a philosopher down. Get this, so I married an axe murderer reference. I am the globe's original well-being philosopher. I met you, Aubrey, through the recent Dispenza interview, and I actually found it when it went up as a temp. How crazy is that? Like, it's been about 2 weeks or so, and I am honored to offer my services as somebody at Bedrock who would like your assistance to patron my podcast, in a nutshell phrase. But I'm a world evolver. I have enacted a midlife metamorphosis that I have been trying to share for at least 18 months. And I'm failing spectacularly because my core wound, childhood neglect, like in infancy, like not intentionally, like just somehow, some way, and I have a few theories, a few hypotheses, but I was never taught to do anything but isolate myself to be safe. Such an outlier. Here's the fable of my midlife metamorphosis. Stand aside, Franz Kafka. Cockroaches? I have gotten to evolve from living a polar bear life for my first 49 years to evolving into a giraffe ready to stroll the African savanna, zen calm. Being someone with an elevated neck who can just see into the future better than other mammals. Freckles and the patterns on the giraffes. I can tell fabulous evolutionary stories. The evolutionary story that I'm going to get to grab you in is part of being that polar bear was I know how to hibernate to stay vibrantly well. So probably have a little experience with DMT. Self-created. This goes to Dispenza. It has been about 2 years since I got the hardback of Being Supernatural from the library because I'm dead broke. That's why I'm asking for some patronage. I'd love to join your organization. Do a strategic collaboration. Take this person that is literally about to become homeless because I don't have any wiring on how to ask for help. I've been doing things like this entire time. Look at my tweet stream, tweeting at celebrities. Not because I care about celebrity. You'll find I like to use things like references like So I Married an Axe Murderer just to see, are we co-travelers of a certain degree. It's part of the skill I'm having of creating Socratic monologues where I can share a valid theory of everything, Aubrey, Vylana. The sound healing, cannabis. That's what I did. Cannabis and sound healing and ecstatic trance dancing. So the 3 pillars of how I lost 150 pounds in the 15 months after turning 50. This is a fabulous little story. And I want to share this last bit. So I've got my last 50 pounds. I'd love to meet Aaron Alexander and do some work with him directly to gain full embodiment. You know, the neglect of my childhood. I wasn't touched for the first 17 years of my life from anyone in my community of origin. You know, I was morbidly obese from infancy. And that certainly protected me from the predatory nature of what most humans have to be having the opposite effect. So I was at this sort of real center point of nothing bad ever happening, and it couldn't explain the output of my life that's brought me to like complete and utter bedrock. Again, I can pick a lot of emotional words, but I have just failed spectacularly. And I find it interesting to dissect. I find it a test case for how we have to evolve. I find, you know, I want to talk about things like homelessness is not an individual problem. It's why not only have we failed to solve something that is put people in homes, give people basic shelter. Well, we could do that. We don't have, we would say the political will, but what we don't have is brains optimized enough to keep our attention on this problem and to see it correctly. Because think about everything that's happening, and it's all about the charity model of, something really bad happened right now, and we'll give you these things, but we won't, which is what I'm asking. Bring you into a community so that you can see how you're not adapting to the conditions around you. People become homeless because of health issues. And we're not seeing human health right. This is my theory of everything. Hashtag well-being philosophy. There's 3 forces in the world. There's actually 5, but we'll stick with the basic 3 of this is why I keep failing. I don't like to create content because everything's much more complex than any content that's being shared around the internet. If you want to get viral, if you want to get shared, at least as I've been trying to become known, like your ability to really just constantly be punching out to the boundaries of what being human is in 2020. I'm astoundingly grateful to you. And in my gratitude, I'm asking for you to adopt me as a 51-year-old foster care attendee who needs a tribe, you know, of people who are evolving consciousness. And I know I can offer that tribe a really unique, I consider myself She Socrates 2021. I'm a bit of a performer. This has been 10 minutes. I'm going to try to hit around there, and just sort of conversational Socratic dialogue. But I also have the capacity to do Socratic monologues. That's hashtag redheaded She-Hulk. That's my performer persona. I want to get on the podcast circuit. I need some help to get a little bit of financial stability, and then I just want to go out and be known as the guest who will say the most unique things, who'll tie this together and that together, who's, explaining her own homelessness as not an individual's problem, but as a societal truth. When you set up a minimum wage of $15 an hour, but it takes $40 an hour for any single adult to establish a household in any West Coast city. It's $25 an hour gap between the basics of being able to live a life of in paycheck servitude. You're talking about hitting $50 to $100 an hour when our economy is based off of a model of 15, and I mean the places that aren't at 15. But 50 to 100 is what you need to live a life that has some freedom, has the ability to buy yourself some free time to go into this lovely consciousness and deprogram all of these faulty models that homelessness is an individual's problem and see it as an economic reality of capitalism. Talk about the fact that capitalism is not only is it not a great economic system, it only won because it enslaved people from the very beginning. Think about, and hi Vylana, I hope you're there watching this. I'm gonna do a little tuning fork to say, nothing is better than getting prepared to be parents and adopting a 51-year-old and her dog. Just a little bit, just to like, let me. I'm trying to use what I've went through to create a stand-up one-woman show. Or to go around to the podcast, do a little bit of, look at how bad all this is, but also look at how happy I am to have gotten my own perspective on my life and to be able to come out and share it and help others see, oh, there's a way to look at your life differently. Well-being philosophy has two basic components that I'll highlight. The top one is evolutionary logic. Telling a new evolutionary story about your own life, as I did with my fable, from a polar bear to a giraffe. This is a skill that I can teach people. And this skill always leads back to the fact that we're all African ancestrally. That's an important subconscious, subliminal, and also all this, my past and my future, blank slate. And I think I've had about 5 people view my videos. There's 150 or so of them on YouTube Live. I've got the skills, but I need the tribe. The other part about, coming to a couple is because the foundation of well-being philosophy, the math I use, is termed the math of life. It's the equation 1 + 1 = 3. 100%, I've so far not had anyone who I've not convinced wholeheartedly that there is a valid context all across Earth where 1 + 1 = 3. It's so foundational that it takes me 9 words. Here's the valid solving of 1 + 1 = 3. 1 man plus 1 woman equals a third baby. The math of counting 1 + 1 = 2 stuff gets counted in that way forevermore. 1 + 1 is always 2 paired statues. But those two have an urge, use brain power, thoughts, the field, the energy, and they create a third baby. I would like to strategic partner with you to fill a role in your organization immediately, to contribute as best I can, also having all of this future that you'll be investing in the truest way, energetically, because I am failing because I ended up alone without family or friends in the time of COVID. This was entrained in me as an obese child, and it became an absolute prison when I moved to the Pacific Northwest and ended up in a moldy apartment. Toxic mold has damaged my brain. I'm walking around neurodiverse, adult onset neurodiversity of every stripe. Still just enjoy telling the story. That's a gift that I want to spread out to more people. How to be in your derangement, be in the process of solving your childhood trauma, and be able to go into the field and make something like this occur. I call it elder savanting. Socratic monologuing. And the Socratic dialogues that I can create on podcasts that open people up philosophically. Because you know what we need to do to fix the world? We have to raise the base of all human thought capacity. From being things that only value memorization to the creativity of 1 + 1 = 3. Life-centric thinking is how we save this planet and our species. And I'm coming to you two, Aubrey and Vylana. Adopt me for a little while, please. I think it's the most expedient way for me to make my own tribe, to be able to contribute from day one into what you're doing, and to raise the global TQ, thinking quotient. Love you both. Deb Helfrich at Gmail will set up a Zoom.